Here, so today I've got a game on the map Ultra Random, and the players that are going to be playing are pretty well known. At least one of them is, and the guy who's going to be playing this is El Conquerors, and his teammate is El Clan Songo on the red over here, and they're versus a lot Marduk and El Clan Furby. So let's start the game and see what's going on. So you can see Chris going for Huns, his teammate going for Vikings, and they're versus Huns and Persians. So Viking and Persians are the two different civs in each of the team. So both are going for the standard start. Chris is scouting with the sheep at the moment, and he's gonna be pretty much scouting his base right now. So you can see Stonewall in Feudal Age and give me resources. So this is gonna be one of the sling games, and the game was in the description titled as Chris going 1 versus 2, and that's exactly what we are gonna be seeing over here. So this was a pretty popular play style back in the day. One player walls up and the other players go for some crazy strategy and kills the other two players. So we're gonna be seeing this at Chris's perspective. He's already made his dock. He's not going for berries yet. He's already getting his boar in. And let's look at Songo. Songo is also getting his boar in. He has not even made a lumber camp just yet. He's gathering wood from his straggler trees around his town center. His scout is idle, but he is still scouting around his base. Let's look at the other team scouting information and what they know. He has made a mill instead of dock. I do not know. Fish is faster, but let's see what he's trying to do. El Clan Furby on Persians, and let's see a lot Marduk. A lot Marduk also went for berries instead of going for fish. So nobody's on the docks just yet instead of Chris. Chris is the only one who's abusing the fish at the moment. And he's also on the berries because you want to get all the food sources you can have. Nobody has clicked up right now, and you can see Furby going forward. What is this strategy known as? The strategy is known as one of the dangerous ones on the old time, when you can go and kill one of the opponents, and that is called Persian douchebag rush. He's gonna be making a TC just next to his opponent. I think it's a bit too close in my opinion. Chris can see it and he laughs. He is douching me. Yes. When you get make market, research coinage that send food and wood. Just food and wood. And he's already clicked up the feudal. He's having to deal with a lot Marduk scout. He Marduk is going for Marduk is going for spears and towers, so this might be a bit of a problem for him. He's already losing a lot of HP on his town center. Marduk has made an archer range forward, and Songo is fully walling his base up. 27 population. He's pretty much walling his base up. Marduk is still trying to harass Chris a bit, and Songo loses his scout. He got douchebagged. His wood is over here. He split his wood. He's not allowing a lot Marduk to go in, but he just went in anyway. And what is Chris's response to all of this? He has not made any other military production building other than the barracks. He needs to protect his stone. Lots of wood, only for wood for now. He's still struggling for wood to repair his town center because he's almost gonna lose his town center because of that. He's still repairing his town center, but it's not gonna work because 4800 HP on your Persian town center is just too much for anyone of the town centers to handle. Here comes the trash army from Marduk, and he's gonna be harassing the shit out of it. The Chris is telling him to hurry, and he's just stonewalling like a champ. He sent 658 food and 283 wood. That's a lot of fucking resources. He's still using his villagers to fight against this. How is he gonna survive? He has got a tower up, but that's the only thing that he has. Marduk is suiciding his army under the TC of Chris, and he still keep on repairing. Town center is still being attacked, and the resources keep coming in. He has enough resources to click up actually. He's going for stable. Send some stone please. Wooden stone as much as you can. And you can see Songo going for stone as well. Let's see Marduk what he is doing. He's still adding skirmishes. He has a lot of farms, and the only thing going for Chris right now is his fish eco. He has a lot of fish in his base, so that's why he's able to sustain villager production without any loss, and also Sango keeps sending him food. He has clicked up to Castle Age. That's something pretty fortunate for him. And he's still being raided like hell. A lot of uh, this is unfortunate. Chris is actually losing a lot of villages in this struggle. This game is really messy. Songo is a noob, but he's sending resources to Chris. Chris might actually be able to salvage this because he's up to castle. There's only trash units in his way and not a lot of spears, so a few knights can be able to handle this. He still hasn't lost. Still hasn't lost his TC. Furby is already up to feudal, but he's also making towers to make Chris's life miserable. He has got a lot of resources, and he is making a castle. Castle will destroy this tower and this TC. Will he be able to get that tower fast enough? I don't think so. He will get that castle up and will be able to push everything back. Yep, the castle is destroying. The castle is destroying both the towers and the TC. He's still asking stone because he needs to make an additional town centers to keep his villager production going. Song is still providing him food and wood and stone and gold because he's sending him everything instead of he's still asking for stone. Chris is making knights, and he's just frustrated about his sorry about that. He's frustrated with his ally. He's still making town centers all around his base, gathering up wood. He still has no farms. The only villager production, only food that he has been getting is from the fish that he has been collecting from the start of the game. He's even making Tarkans because why the hell not? You already have a castle, and now the castle is absolutely destroying this town center. He's still adding monastery, and here comes Marduk's knights. Marduk is absolutely crippling Chris's eco, but Chris's eco is being provided by Songo over here. He's still managing to keep his villager production, food and gold. Yes, that's exactly what Chris needs right now. He's still adding town centers to get his eco rolling up. What's his Marduk's eco looking like? Let's see. He's still on one town center. He's making rams. He's making Knights, a lot of spears in his base. I think Chris is actually doing better than Marduk right now because of his eco. He's repairing in town centers and still attacking his Furby's town center. So that's what is going for him right now. Here comes in the Rams, here comes in the Knights, and I think that will be the end of that TC. Or maybe not, he wants to destroy that monastery first because monks are annoying. And did he even get a conversion? I don't think so. He did not even get a conversion. And here comes in the castle. Castle just on his second town center and that stone. This is gonna be painful for Chris, but he is still playing. Wow, he's still continuing. There is no chance for that town center to survive, and this town center is a lost cause right now. The only town center that he does have been functioning for the whole time are these two guys, and they have been pumping out villages non-stop. He's adding even one more town center to the south of his base. He's running his villages to the town center on the south, and he will pretty surely lose this town center as well as the knights are coming in. And Marduk is taking a score lead because of how badly Chris is absolutely getting hurt because of this. Sango is still not being attacked. He's still sending all of his resources to Chris. He has already got cartography to see what Chris is doing. He still has a healthy eco, but I don't think it's gonna be working that much. Chris is still being fed all the resources, and Maddox is finally starting to add TCs right now in his base. Chris is also trying to absolutely survive this like a champ. The Persian camels are coming in, so knights are no longer an option, and saying that cavalry archers are going to be coming in. Crossbows are still raiding his eco, and the knights are also coming in. This is gonna be very very annoying for Chris. He's making a siege workshop in order to deal with those crossbows, but on the negative point, he's gonna be losing against Marduk's knights. Here comes the knights, and here is his old eco. All of his eco is over here. And what does he have to defend against this? +2 knights and +1 attack? Absolutely nothing. Two town centers are being, his army is being wrecked, and the knights are pulling back for some reason. I have no idea. He could have just stood there and just give Chris another beating. He has finally started to make a castle over here. He has finally gathered enough stone from getting slunged by Songo. And the mangonel comes out. He has absolutely nothing to deal with that mangonel other than his own mangonel, that is. And he flattens that mangonel. So that has something going on for him right now. He gets second castle in to protect his eco over here. Mostly gold right now he wants over here. And this town is gonna get wrecked. One ram over here with a lot of +2 armored knights, and okay, they start attacking my side as well. Where? Okay, that's a little bit of crossbows, but he could have easily walled this. Okay, so he's now signaling that Songo is being attacked. Chris is being raided his side, and Songo is still Xing him. But Chris has already massed enough cavalry archers to deal with knights. There's something going on for him right now. Songo is losing a lot of... Yeah. How did he get in? You stonewalled? Nope, he did not stonewall. He had a hole over here. This must be annoying for Songo. He has been sending all of his resources in. And he still has his fish eco. Chris still has his fish eco. That's why he is doing just fine in his production. Saying that Marduk has reached Imperial. and is prepping down that castle. He has already made enough skirmishes to deal with any sort of engagement that Chris might take with his cavalry archers. So that's a no-no for Chris on going for cavalry archers himself. Let's see what Chris's response to this is. Okay, there we are. He's making rams. He's abandoned that castle and that TC. He's already relying on the TC over here. He's already on a healthy population. He's asking for food. He's still making archery ranges and Parthian tactics coming in. What is... he already has +3 attack. Here comes in the halberdiers. Halberdiers to destroy those trebs. Mangonels are being used to flatten out those skirmishes. The skirmisher is down. I mean the mangonel is down, but the heavy cavalry archers upgrade comes in. Most of the arrow fire by the skirmishers are being soaked up by the rams, so that's why he's getting a lot of kills over here right now. He still has a healthy score lead. Everything is absolutely working fine for him right now. The trebuchets are still being deployed against Chris's eco. His market is being crept down. He's making trebs of his own, and no light cavalry or hussars just coming in just yet. He's still making heavy cavalry archers from all of his ranges. And let's see his response to this. What is it going to be? There are no rams from Marduk, though, so that's something that's going on for him right now. If siege rams might have been coming in instead of going for these trebuchets, I think it might have been over. But he's adding more archery ranges, he's adding even more siege workshops, and still keep on making these. Still is producing villages from all of his TCs. He is at a healthy population lead. A lot of skirmishes from Marduk right now, so he can't be uh, engaging this. Saying that Furby is trying to also make an army right now. He already made a TC over here. He's trying to boom and make knights of his own. But those knights are gonna be doing anything against this mass of heavy cavalry archers. Chris is already transitioning into skirmishes of himself. Ram's soaking up so much arrow fire from these skirmishes that it's not gonna matter how many skirmishes Marduk is gonna make. They're gonna be dying against the skirmishes and the heavy cavalry archers from Chris. He's still making a lot of these heavy cavalry archers from all of his ranges, and is starting to destroy buildings from Marduk. This is gonna be really annoying. The main thing that is concerning me right now is the population limit. Here comes in the knights. The knights are coming in, and they are dying, and they're dying quite fast. Marduk is trying to still place buildings all around Chris's base, and Songo is still signaling Chris for help. No army yet from Songo, he's still in feudal age. I'm sorry, I seem to have catched a cold. But let's keep on watching this. Chris is still being able to push Marduk. No paladins, no cavalry archers from his side, only trash units right now. Hussars, halberdiers, skirmishers, everything is all fully upgraded. And he's being able to push everything back. 3 trebuchets, a lot of rams, cavalry archers, and skirmishers are being pushed over here. He's made a second base on Furby's base, so I think it's kind of a payback for him douchebagging him. So that's something really good. Chris is still pushing these guys. He's already destroyed the front base that Marduk made. There's a lots of knights plus 2 defense, so it might be a bit more difficult for these cavalry archers to deal with, but he has enough skirmishers and cavalry archers to take them down. So that shouldn't be a lot of problem for Chris. The problem right now is the skirmishers that are on the back and having them being shielded by these knights and hussars that are doing enough damage to these things. And spearmen is being pikemen and spearmen is being upgraded right now. There's a lot of raiding going on in Chris's base, on his farms, that is. Chris is not responding to this just yet. He's sending a few light cavalry to deal with it. He's transitioning into trash himself. So the trash war is gonna be beginning just right now. He already has a lot of gold over here, so if he collects this, he might be in a good spot. He has been doing some raiding over here. Furby has been eradicated from his base and is going to do stuff up. And Songo signaling that he's up to the castle age. Send 2000 gold to the... He sent 700 instead of 2000. He's still sending a lot of resources. Pikeman is being upgraded. Halberdier might be coming in soon. Skirmishes are still being produced. And I don't see any additional stables, so that might be a bit of a problem. Now the thing is, he has a lot of army right now, and it cannot be dealt with if he does not take good fights. Chris is massing up his cavalry archers again, but against all of these, this many amount of hussars and skirmishes, it might be proving difficult to take a good engagement over here. The light cavalry from Furby is also coming in, so this will be a bit of a problem. Most of all, Chris is still trying to hold his position until and unless Songo is able to click himself up to him. He's also being raided because he has not made any sort of military right now. He's making a few berserks from the castle that he put down. The siege rams are destroying everything that is over here. The cavalry archers and the skirmishers are being the projectiles are being thrown at it, but nothing is going to be doing anything about it. So the main concern for Chris right now is that he only has 200 population. That's why he cannot outproduce both of these guys. He needs Songo's help before he can do anything. Songo hasn't made any sort of military units of his any sort of major military units, so he is still struggling. We are 1 hour 8 minutes into the game and there is still no military, any significant military from Songo. Chris has been doing all the heavy lifting in the game. He still only has capped rams. Rams are still coming in. He's still producing military units from all his military production buildings. But he's still struggling against the siege rams. He needs to do against something against these siege rams. So there's a matter of stalemate right now going on. He's still raiding Furby and is trying to be annoying over this side. A lot of hussars are still coming in. He's finally gathering a lot of gold from here. So the gold production is going up. That's why he's able to afford those cavalry archers. He still has a lot of cavalry archers that are able to shoot down everything in the back. He finally has the siege ram upgrade, so he might be able to kill some of these buildings right now. It's funny to see how Chris is able to pull this off even without any sort of help from Songo. And I mean, he had a lot of help from Songo because he was getting resources from him, but any sort of military help from Songo, he's still able to push 400 against 200, 200 against 400 population. So this is gonna be hard for Chris. He's still not able to push. He's not able to get any sort of ground from these guys. Marduk still has a lot of gold to be mining out. He has military production buildings all around his base. Furby is also in a corner, so that's why he's not able to do that much damage. But he's still constantly making light cavalry and sending it towards Chris. Chris has made enough units to actually push back any sort of engagements that these guys are pushing. They are taking fights under Chris's castle, so that's why nothing's gonna be going for him. Saying that Songo is up to the Imperial Age, he's making berserkers and spearmen. He's adding a lot of barracks, not a lot of barracks, but he's added a little bit of barracks. That is what I'm trying to say. So you might see some spearmen and berserkers coming from him soon. And Chris is still trying to... What is he trying to do? He's still trying to push against these guys and has made a lot of cavalry archers. Hussars are still coming in. And berserkers are coming in. Spears and two-handed swordsmen. Even champions might still come in because of the kind of boom that has been going on for Songo. This is still quite awesome to watch because finally Songo comes in and Chris is able to push this back. Berserkers and the two-handed swordsmen are doing quite a lot of work in that forward. They are pushing a lot of units from yellow, that is Marduk, and Rams are coming in. A lot of units are killing a lot of these light cavalry. So Marduk is finally able to produce units from his all of his military production buildings and is spamming a two-handed swordsman for some reason, but it's actually working out because two-handed swordsmen are absolutely beast against these trash units. Saying that Cavalier upgrade has been done for Furby, so this might be a bit of a problem for both of these guys because Cavalier can do a lot of damage. But saying that, Chris also has a lot of uh, cavalry archer. He's Xing Songa to make market over here. He wants to start a trade and get some gold in. He's finally mined out almost all of the gold from here, so he's wanting to get some gold of his own. He's still making cavalry archers and hussars, which is an absolute beast composition in the late game. The upgrades are being done on these two-handed swordsmen are being upgraded to champions. Champions can take down the cavalier if they are masked up like this. Halberdiers are being thrown at the forward and they are doing quite a lot of work against the cavaliers and the light cavalry of Furby. Marduk is also keep constantly making trash and rams and stuff to keep Chris's army busy. But Chris has the upper hand because he's mixing in the heavy cavalry archers, and I don't think Marduk has enough resources to continue this, and the game is over. The champions are coming in, nothing can stop this push. Chris is already making a castle. Furby has been eliminated, his eco is totally shit. The eco of Sanko is also shit, but he provided most of his eco to Chris. Chris holded his ground and was able to push everything back. He constantly raided over from this side and harassed, which he is absolutely still doing. It's funny to see this many uh, lumber camps, but you can see that from time to time. He mined out his enemy's gold, took his enemy's farms, and is able to push everything back like a champ that he is. So this was the El Clan tournament game back in 2002. Chris still being one of the best players, but Chris was still one of the best players back in the day, and is able to push everything back because of that. So let's see you guys in the next one. Maybe another Chris game if you guys want that. But